Hi, and welcome to this week's energy forecast for July the 10th. I'll get that out. July the 10th through till July the 16th. I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, and I'm the creator of BU Oracle cards and online courses. So, this week we have just had a full moon. Now, I'm in Australia, so I'm not sure where you will be around the world. So for some people, they've already had that full moon experience, and some people are about to embark on that this evening. So full moons are always about releasing and letting go. And for the energy, if you'd listened to last week, for some people, they're finding that there is a resistance. And when that resistance comes up, there's a rebellious nature that comes up. We want to be able to release and surrender things based on our own terms. So remind yourself that your soul is guiding you at this time because it knows exactly what the next step is for you. Even though you may not see the evidence 100% or have all the pieces of the puzzle just yet, don't be alarmed, because at the same time as this is occurring with the full moon, it's giving us that opportunity to shift and reframe how we feel about this full moon, knowing that there may be this inclination to resist the change that your soul was wanting for you right at this time. So you can reframe the thinking behind that and give yourself permission to see that it really is about surrendering and knowing that you don't need to have this pain in your world anymore, that you get to be in charge of everything within your world to a degree. Especially, number one, you get to decide how you want to feel. So if there is experiences or situations that are coming up for you that are bringing up pain points, they really are a beautiful gift, giving you the opportunity to surrender and set your standards higher and say, you know what, I don't want to have this in my world, but what do I want to replace it with when I let it go? So it's a beautiful time. Whilst we're also going through this full moon, as you would have heard from last week, there is a lot of high intensity of emotions, which puts a lot of people into reaction response. So they can speak without thinking, act without thinking, and they can be really hurtful. So when I was thinking about wanting to do this week's card spread for the energy, I wanted to think about the question as I was shuffling the cards was that how can people receive gifts or tips and tricks to be able to help them navigate through this time in the best way so that they feel good about themselves. So the great thing that I enjoy about Oracle cards is they're so spot on if you ask the right question. And so let's go in and see how this works. So this week's overall theme has sort of three parts to it. It's about wiping the slate clean. It is about gratitude. And it is about deciding the direction you want to go in. So let's go in and see how this all plays out. So for the very first card for Monday and Tuesday is the card of uniqueness. Now, using that question of how can we navigate through this time where there's a high intensity of emotion and there's this undercurrent of excitement and nervousness happening, and there's this sort of like mix of emotions going on, and there's situations because with high intensity of emotions there is a level of sensitivity, so we can become a lot more sensitive at this time. So this card of uniqueness is about being able to share the gifts of who you are. There is this level of visibility that's coming to the surface. For a long time, there has always been this suppression, fear of what other people think, fear of how you feel about sharing all parts of yourself. It reveals the vulnerability. It heightens that level of sensitivity that occurs. But your soul is saying, you know what? You are... To me, our own uniqueness is what I call our awesomeness. We all have this amazing level of awesomeness within us. And when we spend more time in that awesomeness, we are the closest connection to our soul that we can ever be. And in amongst that therefore becomes the gift. Because when you're saying in your awesomeness, you naturally are radiating the real essence of who you are. Now, life has... One of the sayings that I've always said is that no one gets through life unscathed. We all have experiences in our world that at certain times has defined us. And you'll be able to see how that plays out in the next card. But now is the moment to make that decision and just focus, because where we focus becomes our attention. So your soul is saying, focus on your awesomeness. Don't worry about the pain points. They've all shaped you into the beautiful person that you are. And without those experiences, you wouldn't have grown into this amazing person that you are. And the world wants to hear that. We're starting to see that people's stories are having a massive impact and really empowering people in being able to see that level of vulnerability, to be able to see what someone has had to access to be able to overcome certain situations. And that is empowering other people to go, you know what, I may have had a similar experience, and now I've got someone that's there sharing with me on how to move through this. And that is where we become empowered through our choices. And this is where we shift gear and start gaining a new level of perception. Our focus goes in a different direction because we're now being able to harness those experiences and seeing that they really are defining moments that have helped shape you into the amazing person that you are. So that visibility is your soul is saying, hey, share who you are. Now, you may be going on an exploration. You may have been surrendering and letting go so much of yourself. So there's that exploration of being able to go, you know what? Who am I? Rather than come from a place of, being scared or resistance or rebel against it, come from a curious point of view and go, you know what? I get to unravel and find out all of these really great things about myself, and I get to decide how I want to shape them. They don't always have to be presented in a particular way. I can recognize that I've got these amazing awesomeness within me. How do I wish to be able to share this with the people in my world, with friends, family, in your work environment, in your professional life? There's all these ways in which you get to express your awesomeness in a variety of different ways. And there is no right and there is no wrong. And that's where it starts to get incredibly exciting. The one thing that I've always, and you'll have heard for many years, is that each person was put on this earth so very different. And each person has an incredibly amazing gift to share with the world. One person's gift is no greater than the next. There is a demand for each and every one of your level of awesomeness is required by this world right now. So you can, really invite that excitement and that nervousness into your world and go, you know what, like, I don't know where this is going to take me, but this can be really exciting. So remember, where you focus becomes your attention. So focus, because a lot of the times, the things that I've been seeing, especially over the last couple of weeks, is with these high levels of emotions that are coming, people are focusing on all of the unpleasant things in their world. But the soul is going, you know what? It doesn't need that level of empowerment from you anymore. You can redirect that and go, you know what, this is happening in my world and I'm making changes around it and I'm breaking through, I'm creating new beliefs, new thoughts, new actions and behaviors around them, but I'm going to focus on my awesomeness and I'm going to spend more time there, because when I'm there, I'm actually the closest version of being the best version of myself. And this is where you get to be in the most joy and happiness in yourself too, because you're recognizing the great things within you rather than picking to pieces all the flaws, because you know what? Every single person that walks this earth has flaws. That's what makes us great, because we get to, if we were all perfect, there'd be nothing to learn, which means if we don't need to learn, then our existence here within this world no longer exists. So whilst you have areas that you may deem as flaws, they are giving you opportunities for the rest of your life to work on them so that you bring yourself into alignment and a level of acceptance. And this is where it becomes really exciting. And it's then backed up by the next card that comes through from Wednesday to Friday. And that's all around, I'll make sure that it's not getting a glare, it's called Steps. Now, Steps is the card that comes in. It's got a bit of a horrible glare, so I'll see if I can there we go. So as you can see, there's an eye in the center of this beautiful mandala, and the eye is the window into the soul. So therefore it backs up that perception of where are you focusing, because where we focus is through our eyes, and we can either focus from all the pain points, because the steps is about, this card when it reveals itself is saying that most people look back over their life and only see the pain in their life, and we all have it. That is what has helped shaped us. But sometimes some people are being really defined, and that is making them work from that space of that pain playing out in their current reality. Yet it's time, and you've outgrown that. You don't need to be able to stay in that pain, that place of pain anymore. You can go back to those times in your life and see that you have been given an amazing opportunity to access amazing resources within yourself. So through some of the most incredibly painful areas, and this is where people's stories come in, is that people have been able to access core components within themselves, like determination, courage, strength, trust, belief, and have raised their standards, so they let go of the rubbish that they may have had in their world, which means that they then need to up-level their own selves and move into this new space of conscious awareness, and to create the changes that you want in your world. And that takes a great deal of courage, and it takes a great deal of consistency, because we don't just create change. I mean, we have the capability to do that, but as humans, we resist that. And so change for some people can take a little bit of time. And so that means being really consistent with changing your actions and behaviors, rewiring your capability of thinking to invite a new perception from these pain points. And this is where it becomes super, super cool, because you are at that defining moment where we are in that transition of breaking through and transforming into the next level within your own self. And that next level is about achieving those goals and dreams. So in order to do that, your soul is saying, hey, stop looking back at your past and only seeing the pain. Remind yourself that in all the years that you've been on this world, in amongst those pain points have been great moments of joy and happiness, and so many amazing stories that you get to share with people, and memories that you get to recall back on any single time that you want to. Your whole life has not just been about pain. It has had joy and happiness. So if that's the only place that you want to look in and see is sadness and pain, you're robbing yourself of the ability to have and invite happiness and joy into your world. And that happiness and joy is what we were here to experience in this world as well. We're not supposed to always sit in levels of pain. So it's something to be incredibly mindful. And this is where we get to wipe the slate clean. You are no longer defined by your past unless you choose to. Now, I know that that sounds incredibly harsh, because people will be sitting there going, I don't want to feel this pain. There is a choice. And this is where that accountability and ownership comes in. Next time a situation comes up that invokes pain for you, ask yourself, what do you need to be able to heal in that current situation so you can transition and move forward? And that's all. Because the moment your brain is asked a really powerful question, it goes searching for the answers. So if you keep saying to yourself, why is the situation coming up? Why am I experiencing pain? The brain goes searching and it gives you the answers, brings you more pain. So shift your perception. Ask yourself an empowering question. What needs to be healed at that time in my life so I can transition forward? And allow your mind to go searching for that answers. And then when it comes, say thank you. Say thank you for being open to be able to see what the healing is that is revealed to you, so that you can start to feel more and more whole within yourself. Allows you to also be able to stay more in your joy and happiness, and being able to, excuse me, it doesn't matter how many times you do recordings and you think you got all your bases covered, stuff like that happens. So we're just going to keep rolling with it anyway. So as I was saying, this gives you the opportunity to be able to remember that your whole life hasn't been all around pain. There is a great deal of joy and happiness. And when you're in your joy and happiness, you're more in your own awesomeness. So allow yourself to become empowered by the choice of looking for a solution and focus on that, rather than being stuck in story and pain. The next amazing card that comes up for this week around, what are some of the tips that we can do to bring to be able to help us through these times. The next card is inner child. Now, inner child, there's this reflectiveness going on today, so hence why I'm sort of having to hold them on a bit of an angle. As you can see, and whenever you see children playing, they have this amazing ability to be able to be present, enjoy life. They have the tenacity that if they are finding resistance when they're learning something new, they consistently practice and practice and practice until such times as they've learned that skill. Yes, they may have moments where they get a little bit frustrated, but they keep going because their level of self-belief, they know that they can do it. They don't know when they're going to be able to fully achieve and be able to get that skill 100% down pat, but they know that if they keep doing it, they will do that. So your message for this week, on the weekend, is about bringing happiness and playfulness into your world. And remember that whilst you're making these beautiful, amazing changes and transitioning and transforming at your time, the more consistent you are with your thoughts, actions, and behaviors, the more that you're going to get there eventually. And it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get there. Know within your own self that you will achieve everything that you're setting out to do. And that's where it becomes exciting, because a lot of the times, I've worked with thousands of people over the years, and the thing I find is they're so focused on, start point and end point. And by the time they reach the end point, they reach burnout, because they haven't given themselves permission to enjoy the journey along the way. And that's what this inner child is saying, is that bring in that playfulness. Your whole world can't just be about focus, 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 because then you fail to recognize that there is all these amazing opportunities around you that are giving you insight and giving you the energy to keep going. And that's through that playfulness. And it is about, you don't see children and you don't see them picking themselves to pieces. They're not sitting there going, oh my God, I've put on a couple of kilos. I wish I was taller. I wish I was smarter. I wish I was this. They just allow themselves to be who they are and go on this beautiful explorative journey, because they haven't put all of these levels of expectations and labels on themselves. And that is what burdens adults, is all of these labels. Now is the time to wipe the slate clean of all of those labels and be able to go, you know what, this is who I am. I'm pretty awesome. I know that I've got areas of places that I can work on, and they're going to be my work in progress. And I'm going to enjoy the journey, because through that you are going to discover and gain so much insight about learning who you are and learning about this next level of person being that you are growing into. And that is where this level of excitement and nervousness is coming, is because we're excited about all the possibilities and opportunities that are being revealed to us. And there's this nervousness of that labels coming in going, will I be enough? Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to get there? And so we get this sort of push-pull going on. Just surrender yourself, take a step back and know that this is what's playing out, and work with it. Go, okay, well, you know what? I don't know where it's going to take me, but that can be exciting and I can enjoy myself. And I know that there's going to be some great things revealed to me. There's also going to be some areas that can bring up frustration or obstacles, but I know that the more persistent I am and the more consistent that I am learning and developing new skills within my own self, or even accessing and learning to come to a new level of acceptance, it's going to just take time. So be patient so I can really enjoy this moment if I allow myself to. And this is where that you can really start to see that there are signs being given to you to let you know that you're on the right track. They may come in hearing a story that is going to help you access that resource within yourself, which, let's say, for example, may be determination. You may find, Facebook has all these amazing, incredibly great stories out there that are revealed through humans and through also animals over, things that they've overcome, to be able to come to where they are today. That empowers us, that engages an emotional response within us to let us know that we too can achieve great things too. So it builds that level of self-belief and encourages that determination. And that comes from this beautiful, quiet place. So it doesn't make any difference where we access these resources from us. They're all given us as beautiful little stepping stones to help us, encourage us to really believe in our goals and desires and our dreams right at this point. And so we all need to have moments of inspiration that's revealed to us, and we can get through YouTube movies or videos. And we also need to have that, not just only do we need inspirations, but we need moments where we break state. So when we get so focused on something, we can shut off other areas in our world. So this is where that playfulness and joy, so have some fun, connect with people where you can get together and just have a really great laugh. If you don't have that, there are countless videos on YouTube that you can go and get a really good giggle, get your giggle on. And then we need to have that, follow it up through actions. No dreams are ever going to come true unless we support them with our actions. And this is where that focus and wiping the slate clean becomes paramount, because you can wipe the slate clean of all the pain that's been brought into your world, allow healing and transformation to occur for you on those levels, refocus, and bringing in that gratitude element of being able to take a couple of moments every single day and say, you know what, I am grateful for, and sit there and go through all of the things that you're grateful for. So it opens up that channel of happiness and joy. And when we're in those places, we really are coming from the best version of ourselves, which is our own awesomeness. And this is where that visibility is coming in. The world is wanting to see your awesomeness. There is a place and there is a space for every single one of you to share your awesomeness out there. And there are people that are just wanting to hear about your inspiring story of how you've helped get through a certain moment, or share some tips and tricks with others, because you just don't know. This is where this is beautiful moment of being the student and the teacher all at the same time. You may be inspiring others whilst you go through your transition. There will be moments that your emotions may have ebbs and flows, and then all of a sudden something will be revealed to you that inspires and keeps you going. And this is where this beautiful circle of life comes in, because we can be giving and receiving all at the same time. And your soul is presenting you with little insights of indications that you're on the right track, to help keep you motivated, to help you see more and more that your dreams are about to emerge and come true. But you just need to keep going. Just keep putting in that little bit of extra effort. Take that one step every single day. Even if it doesn't, worry about how big the step is. Take one inspired step for your own self to build your level of self-belief, so that you know deep within your soul that you know that you are working towards what is important for you. So I wish everyone an incredibly exciting week. Remember, these are tips and tricks to help you navigate through periods where there's high levels of emotion, so you don't have to react to them. You have a choice on how you wish to respond. And sometimes the greatest gift that you can give to yourself is to just become quiet. If something engages a high level of an emotional response, rather than reacting and having something, an attack mode, come out through your words or through your actions, just stop. Just stop and collect your thoughts and ask yourself, what is it that has been triggered within you? And then respond from that space. It will empower you. But if all you need to do is just stop and not react. So again, if you're feeling, and I know there'll be lots of you out there that are feeling this excitement and nervousness, roll with it. It's there. It's a beautiful message from your soul saying, keep on going. Stay in your level of awesomeness. The world is waiting for you to come from, from that suppressed state and start sharing your awesomeness with the world, and bring some playful joy into your world. Enjoy the journey. So have an amazing week. I wish everyone to feel joy and happiness and excitement, and allow yourself the permission to go on a journey of exploring who you are this week, and become curious with that. Curiosity allows us to let go of limitations. It allows us to let go of labels. And that's a very big lesson for us all to navigate, because when we let go of those labels and limitations, we are wiping the slate clean. And you deserve that. You deserve an exciting, amazing world, but it all starts with the decisions that you make today. So if this message is something that you feel like may resonate with someone that you know, please feel free to share this video, and I'll catch you next week. Much love to you all.